Hi, today we shall be looking at the sales ledger because the last video we were looking at the sales account, so we have to continue with the ledgers, and this time around we'll be looking at the sales ledger. Now, one thing that you must know about the sales ledger is that the sales ledger is a book that shows us how much our daters or customers are owing us. So, the people that owe us money are called daters. Okay, now in the sales ledger, it is the opposite as what we talked about in the sales account, where in the sales account we said all entries are credit entries. Okay, but in this ledger called the sales ledger, all entries are entered on the debit side, of this account. These are tips that I'm sharing. Then our balance brought down is always a debit balance. That's if our debtors are still owing us money. But if at all our debtors pay the full amount of money, then we no longer have a debit balance, but the sales ledger will be closed. These are 3 tips. And the last important tip is that the trial balance will record the debit balance that we have in the sales ledger shall be taken on the trial balance as debtors on the debit side of the trial balance. These 4 tips will help you in everything that you are doing in accounts. Apart from that, the sales ledger also shows you where you have to take your amounts in the trial balance that we've talked about. And again, another tip that you have to know is if the sales ledger is entered in the trial balance as debtors and it goes on the debit side of the trial balance, then the sales account in the trial balance will be recorded as sales on the credit side. So these things are opposite. And remember, to each and every sales ledger there's a debtors account, and to each and every sales account there can be 2 things, which are the customers or debtors. Now there's a difference between these 2. Customers are actually people who buy things from us either on cash or credit basis. But the moment a customer buys something from us on a cash basis, he's just called a customer. The opposite is if a customer buys something from us on credit, then he becomes a debtor. So those are the tips that you must know about the sales ledger. The next video that I'm going to do is going to be on the discounts.